菜根谭。
Tending the roots of wisdom.
9. 静中观心，真妄必见。
9. Observe the mind in stillness, and the distinction between truth and falsehood becomes clear.
菜根谭原文：夜深人静，独坐观心，是觉望穷而真独露，每于此中得大机趣，既觉真现而望难逃，又于此中得大残扭。
白话文注解：夜深人静时，静坐反观内心，让自己的妄心全消而真心流露。每当此际，顿觉神清气爽，十分舒畅。然而由于意识到自己竟然还有那么多的妄念，且妄念相续不断，又不由得羞愧难当。
9-1. As you sit alone, introspecting in the stillness of the late night, you will experience the gradual fading of distracting thoughts and the emergence of your genuine nature. In these instances, you'll find a sense of joy in grasping the deeper essence of life. However, as you realize that your true nature isn't yet able to entirely replace those distracting thoughts, a sense of self-reproach might arise. Translated by Bayandefu.
9-2. When human sounds are hushed late in the night, I sit alone and examine my heart-mind. Delusions seem to lift and abruptly my true person appears. At such moments, a great opportunity seems to draw near. But with truth becoming manifest, my delusions still persist after all, and I feel great shame. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 9-3. In the still of the night, when a man sits alone in meditation, the first thing that happens is that his inordinate desires disappear, and his true self holds away. Every time this occurs, he enjoys a spontaneous pleasure that comes from within himself. But if, after finding his true self, he feels he cannot cast aside erroneous thoughts, great shame comes upon him. Translated by Paul White.
9-4. In the deep silence of the night, sitting quietly and reflecting on one's inner self, allowing all delusions to dissipate and true feelings to emerge, one feels a profound sense of clarity and refreshing ease. However, realizing that there are still so many delusions, and they persist continuously, can bring about a sense of embarrassment and shame. Translated by Wen Lin.
10. 得意须早回头，福心莫便放手。
10. When successful, turn back early. Don't easily let go and unsettle the mind.
菜根谭原文：恩礼由来生害，故快意时须早回头，败后或反成功，故福心处莫便放手。
白话文注解：恩惠之下往往隐藏着祸患，所以应抱有见好就收的态度，不可贪恋。挫败往往预示着成功的到来，因此遇到事情不如意时，不可轻言放弃，应继续奋斗。
10-1. Beneath favors often lies hidden trouble. So it's important to adopt a know when to stop attitude and avoid becoming overly attached. Setbacks often foreshadow the arrival of success, which is why in times of adversity, it's crucial not to give up easily but to persist in your efforts. Translated by Bayandefu.
10-2. Favor and patronage can lead to mischief. Thus in times of pleasant goodwill, it is important to be constantly on guard. The aftermath of failure can be the success. Thus when things go contrary, don't lose heart. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 10-3. A favor received inevitably brings harm in its wake. When you feel gratified, stop forging ahead, and turn round promptly. It is equally true that accomplishment may follow defeat. Therefore, do not give up halfway when feeling terribly upset. Translated by Paul White.
10-4. Beneath favors often lie hidden dangers. So one should adopt an attitude of, take the good and stop. Greed should be avoided. Setbacks often herald the arrival of success. Therefore, in the face of adversity, one should not hastily give up but continue to strive. Translated by Wen Lin.
11. 淡泊明志，肥甘丧节。
11. Maintain a simple and focused mindset. Indulgence in luxury leads to the loss of integrity.
菜根谭原文：离口见长者，多冰清玉洁；诡异玉石者， 甘必息奴颜。盖至以谈薄明，而节从非甘丧也。
白话文注解：喜欢粗茶淡饭的人，他们的操守多半也是清澈如冰、洁白似玉；而讲究锦衣美食的人，大多甘愿充当卑躬屈膝的奴才。因为一个人的志气要在清心寡欲的状态下才能表现出来，而一个人的节操都在贪图物欲享受中丧失殆尽。
11:1. Those who enjoy simple meals often possess morals as pure as ice and as pristine as jade, whereas those who pursue luxurious attire and fine cuisine often willingly take on the role of servile minions. This is because a person's ambition can only manifest in a state of contentment, and one's principles are often compromised and squandered amid the pursuit of material desires and pleasures. Translated by Bayandefu.
11:2. Those who subsist on shrubs and weeds are almost all pure and clear as jade. Those who dress in finery and eat sumptuously have the complexion of fawning servitors. For true ambition is manifest in simplicity and purity, and integrity perishes in sweet fat. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff.
11:3. People who take coarse food and drink usually have morals as clean as ice and as pure as jade. Those, on the other hand, who set great store by fine garments and tasty fare tend to be servile flatterers and willing slaves. A man's aspirations can only shine forth from purity of heart and paucity of desires, whereas his moral integrity can be easily forfeited through indulging in creature comforts. Translated by Paul White.
11:4. Those who prefer simple meals often possess principles as clear as ice and purity like jade. On the other hand, those who pursue luxurious clothing and exquisite food often willingly play the role of submissive servants. This is because a person's ambition is best expressed in a state of contentment, and one's moral integrity is lost when consumed by the desire for material pleasures. Translated by Wen Lin.
12. 眼前放得宽，死后恩则长。
12. Be generous in the present, and after death, blessings will endure.
菜根谭原文：面前的土地要放得宽，使人无不平之叹；身后的恩泽要留得久，使人有不愧之思。
白话文注解：一个人待人处事的心胸要宽厚，使你身边的人不会有不平的牢骚；死后留给子孙与世人的恩泽要留得长远，才会使子孙有不断的思念。
12:1. A person's demeanor in dealing with others should be magnanimous, ensuring those around you harbor no grievances. The legacy of kindness and favors left to descendants and the world must endure over time, fostering a perpetual sense of remembrance among future generations. Translated by Bayandefu.
12:2. When you are still plowing the fields ahead, make a point of being open-minded, and there will be no murmuring among others. After your life is over, its blessings will flow for a long time, giving contentment to people in their thoughts. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 12:3. In dealing with other people, a person must be broad-minded and tolerant, so as not to make them sigh with resentment. Then after his death his bountiful deeds will live on, earning people's boundless gratitude. Translated by Paul White.
12:4. A person's attitude towards others and handling of affairs should be generous, preventing those around you from harboring complaints. The benevolence left behind after death for descendants and others should flow enduringly, fostering a continuous sense of remembrance from the generations to come. Translated by Wen Lin.
13. 路要让一步，为须减3分。
13. Give way a step on the road. Reduce your desires by 3 out of 10.
菜根谭原文：径路窄处，留一步与人行；滋味浓的，减3分让人尝。此是摄事一即安乐法。
白话文注解：在狭窄的路上行走时，要留有余地给别人走；遇到美味可口的饭菜时，要让3分给别人吃。这是一个人立身处世最安全快乐的方法。
13:1. When walking on a narrow path, leave room for others to pass. When encountering delicious food, Share a portion with others. This is the safest and happiest approach to navigating life. Translated by Biandefu.
13-2, where the road narrows, step aside to let others pass. When enjoying tasty food, leave 3 measures, out of 10, for others to taste. This is the most felicitous way to pass through the world. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 13-3, on a narrow path, step aside 1 pace so that others may pass. When treated to fine food, offer some of it to your fellow diners. Such a manner of behaving in society will best endure a person peace and happiness. Translated by Paul White.
13-4. When walking on a narrow path, leave space for others to pass. When encountering delicious food, share a portion with others. This is the safest and happiest way for a person to establish themselves and navigate through life. Translated by Wen Lin.
14. 脱俗成名，超凡入圣。
14. Transcend the mundane to achieve fame. Elevate beyond the ordinary to attain enlightenment.
菜根谭原文：做人无甚高远事业，摆脱的俗情便入名流，唯学无甚增益功夫，减除得物累，便超圣境。
白话文注解：做人并不是要懂得什么高深的大道理，只要能摆脱世俗的利欲，就可跻身名流。做学问并不需要什么特殊的秘诀，只要能排除物欲的干扰，就可达到超凡入圣的境界。
14-1. Being a good person doesn't require understanding profound philosophical concepts. Simply breaking free from worldly desires can elevate you to a respected position. Similarly, excelling in academics doesn't demand any special secrets. Just eliminating the distractions of material desires can lead you to the realm of extraordinary achievement. Translated by Biandefu.
14-2, one need not have achieved great undertakings to make a name for oneself, merely avoiding the vulgar would do it. One need not study highly or broadly to improve oneself on the way to sagehood, merely divesting oneself of worldly encumbrance would do it. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 14-3, to live as a true man, you do not need extraordinary accomplishments, all you need to do is to free yourself from vulgar distractions, and then you can join the ranks of eminent personages. To pursue study, you do not need any special formula for success, all you need to do is to get rid of desires for material comforts that trouble your head, and then you can enter the domain of the sages. Translated by Paul White.
14-4. Being a person doesn't require understanding profound and grand principles. Simply breaking free from worldly desires can place one among the distinguished. Similarly, in the pursuit of knowledge, there's no need for any special secret of success. Reaching the realm of extraordinary wisdom is attainable by eliminating the interference of material desires. Translated by Wen Lin.
15. 义侠交友，纯心做人。
15. Be friends with righteous and chivalrous individuals, and live with a pure heart.
菜根谭原文：交友须带3分侠气，做人要存1点素心。
白话文注解：朋友相处，须存着柔情侠义；为人处事，应怀着赤子之心。
15-1. In the company of friends, maintain a spirit of compassion and chivalry. In your actions and interactions, carry a heart as pure as that of a child. Translated by Biandefu.
15-2, making friends requires a few measures of gallantry, cultivating true character needs a bit of innocence. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 15-3, to make friends with others, you need a strong sense of justice and a readiness to help. To be a true man, you should preserve a pure heart. Translated by Paul White.
15-4. In the company of friends, one should harbor tender feelings and chivalry. In dealing with people and matters, one should maintain an innocent and sincere heart. Translated by Wen Lin.
16. 德在人先，利居人后。
16. Virtue comes before others. Profit comes after others.
菜根谭原文： 宠力无居人前，得业无落人后，受享无于分外，修为无减分中。
白话文注解：名利的获取不要抢在人前，道德的提升不要落在人后，享受物质生活时不要超过自己的本分，修养品德时不要降低自己的标准。
16:1. When pursuing fame and fortune, avoid rushing ahead of others. In cultivating virtues, strive not to lag behind. When indulging in material pleasures, stay within your means. In nurturing your character, never compromise your standards. Translated by Bayandefu.
16:2. Don't be ahead of others in accepting patronage. Don't lag behind others in virtuous endeavor. Don't accept favors beyond your share. Don't allow your practice of governing yourself to be weaker than your best efforts. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 16:3. Do not scramble for favor and profit, do not lag behind in virtue and accomplishments. In receiving material enjoyments, do not exceed what is fitting for your station in life, in cultivating virtue, do not lower your standards. Translated by Paul White.
16:4. In the pursuit of fame and fortune, don't rush ahead of others. In the elevation of morality, don't lag behind. When enjoying material life, don't exceed your limits. In cultivating character, don't lower your standards. Translated by Wen Lin.